radio experience you can count on. From Milky Way to Earth, everywhere there's internet, you can connect with Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Log on to our website www.eaglesfm.com. Follow and engage with us now on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok at Eagles FM Abuja, Instagram at Eagles FM 1023. Download our apps on your Android and iOS stores. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience you can count.
It is exactly 6 minutes gone past the hour of 9 on the AM side. Excited, yes, I am again to join in a discourse with you, trade words with you this morning as we go conversational. Yes, it does feel good to know that you are alive. It does feel good to know that we are making Nigeria a better place. We're building a safe haven for Nigeria, even though there are some very unscrupulous beings who are trying so hard and working around the clock to make things pretty hard for us. We will survive and we will get it rightly, I believe so. My name is Uduak Daniel, and here is the time for us to look into politics and current affairs. And now we'll be basing the discourse on standards and ethics in Nigeria. Is it in shambles? Are we getting it rightly? Could this be rated pari passu, corruption, and mismanagement, and other things that you well are aware of that are becoming the issues that we face in Nigeria, that is bringing Nigeria down, that is dragging us down? When we make 2 efforts forward, we make 5 steps backwards, or even 20 steps backwards, and that is really not making us look right. Well, we'll be having our guest who's going to be joining us via phone call as we go engaging. I mentioned that earlier, Sir Benedict Olalekon Agunloye. He's an information professional, a policy public affairs analyst, and he'll be adding his voice in the discourse. So, standards and ethics in Nigeria in shambles or not? I mean, this pertains to matters arising from the federal government's medium-term expenditure framework, MTEF, the late submission of it, the death of Chimamanda Adichie-san, and Anthony Joshua's car accident. If you put all of these together and you properly examine it, you'll discover similarities that connect them with the lack or abuse of standards and ethics in the country. So this is becoming a great challenge for Nigerians as well as the international community. So let's dive into it. Imagine you're planning a big party and you invite your friends, but you don't send out the invitations on time. That's what happened with Nigeria's federal government and the 2026 budget. I mean, they're late in submitting the medium-term expenditure framework, that's the MTEF, and the budget proposal, which is like not having a clear plan for the party. Now, MTEF is supposed to be submitted to the National Assembly at least 4 months before the start of the new fiscal year, but it has been delayed for reasons best known to them. Now, this has raised concerns about the government's commitment to transparency and accountability. I mean, it's like saying you're going to do something but not following through. Do you understand? I will do it, but you don't follow through it. So the 2026 budget proposal is also facing challenges, with some senators demanding answers. They are demanding answers about government's revenue projections and expenditure plans. They are also worried that the budget might not be realistic and that it might not address the country's pressing needs. So what is happening exactly? The federal government has been accused of introducing new projects worth 3.50 trillion naira in the 2026 budget. And this is despite a directive to roll over most of the 2025 capital spending. So it's raising questions about government's priorities and its commitment to fiscal discipline. And then you might ask me, UD, why is this even a problem? It is a problem because it shows a lack of transparency and accountability in the government's budgeting process. It's like spending money without keeping track of where it is going. You're just spending, but you don't know what this money is meant for. And so it gives a crack for corruption, for waste, for mismanagement of public funds. And then we go back round and round in circles and come back to the same position again, talking the same thing. Now, if you also look at the Chimamanda's son story, a tragic incident that highlighted medical ethics concerns in Nigeria. Just imagine you're taking your child to a hospital for a simple checkup, and something goes terribly wrong. Now, you took the child for a checkup. Maybe the child has an underlying ailment, but that's the reason you took the child to the hospital for checkup. You didn't take him to the shrine. You didn't take him to any religious center. You took them to where it was right for you to take them to. That's exactly what happened to Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who's a famous Nigerian author. I mean, when a 21-month-old son, Nkanu Nnamdi, died at the Eurocare Hospital in Lagos. So what exactly happened? I'm taking you through a journey now so you understand where we're coming from when we talk about standards and ethics being in shambles. Because there's an argument that says if we are able to indeed fortify standards and ethics, we would have indeed solved most of the corruption issues. We would have indeed solved most of the mismanagement issues, the issues of unaccountability or lack of accountability, lack of transparency will not be even an issue again, because standards and ethics paved the way, stepped into the situation. So Nkanu was taken to Eurocare Hospital for 2 medical procedures. One uses a big machine to take pictures of the inside of the body, right? It's more like a super-powered camera, if you understand, MRI, that's what it is. So the second reason is for a central line inspection, where a tiny tube is placed inside a big vein, like a straw in a juice box, if you understand what I'm saying, to give medicine or fluids directly into the blood. So Nkanu was sedated, in other words, given medicine to sleep, for these procedures, but things didn't go as planned. So Adichie alleges that the anesthesiologist gave her son too much sedative, didn't monitor him properly, and handled him carelessly, leading to his death. And this is a matter of standards and ethics. So the anesthesiologist's actions were allegedly criminally negligent and fatally casual. So the hospital may have failed to follow proper medical protocols. Now, there are concerns that the hospital's equipment, staffing, and emergency response are also not anywhere close to standards, to the ethics of the profession. The Lagos State government has ordered an investigation into the incident. The hospital has denied wrongdoing. They are promising to cooperate with the investigation. Adichie's family has issued a legal notice to the hospital, demanding answers, demanding accountability. Somebody has to be held responsible. Now, are we also going to talk about the Anthony Joshua's case? Well, you already know. But let's still talk about it, because we need to make sense of this nonsense. And if it is a nonsense, we shouldn't be able to take out the sense from it and leave the none. Just imagine that you're playing with your friends, and you guys are in a playground, and suddenly a toy car crashes into a tree. Bam! That's exactly what happened to Anthony Joshua, who's a famous boxer. And that happened on December 29 of 2025. I mean, he was riding in a car with his friends, actually. Not his car. One of his friends, is it Shinagami or something? And I think I remember Latif Ayodele. When their car indeed hit a stationary truck on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Nigeria. So the car was going really fast. The driver, Adeni Mobolaji Kayode, he tried to overtake another car, but the tire burst, and that caused the car to crash. Now, Shina and Latif sadly died in that incident, while Anthony Joshua got minor injuries. So what happened next? The police arrested the driver, Kayode. They charged him with reckless and dangerous driving. He appeared in court on January 2nd of 2026, pleaded not guilty. The case has been adjourned to January 20, 2026. Hope it's not going to be a case that drags again for long. That's another case, another kettle of fish with the judiciary. But why exactly is the story important? Because it highlights the dangers of reckless driving and poor road safety in Nigeria. Many people are dying on Nigerian roads every year, and it's crucial to take action to prevent such accidents because they are preventable. What happened to every kilometer we have a manning post of the road safety corps standing by, checking speed limits? What happens to technology? What happens to the so-called and talked about drones? Are drones only used for combating insecurity? What am I even saying? Have we been able to manage the drones enough to combat insecurity yet that we want to even start with the roads? Well, that might also be a sentiment you might share. So there are some very basic central questions. And we will go about these questions with our guest in a short bit. Standards and ethics in Nigeria. Is it in shambles? Are we getting it rightly? Is there something that needs to be done? Have we failed woefully? Are we on the right track? Is the trajectory set? They're very, very salient, all too important, and we must ask these questions. Proposal. I mean, what are the implications of the federal government's lack of transparency, lack of accountability in its budgeting process on Nigeria's economic development and public trust? Are there implications in this lack, in this crack, in this opening, in this lacuna? Then if you look at the Chimamanda's son story, how can Nigerian hospitals ensure that they prioritize patient safety and adhere to medical ethics, especially when given the allegations of negligence and misconduct in the Nkanu's Nnamdi's case? How exactly can we go through this unscathed? How can we revive the ethics and standards, whether within the federal government, within our healthcare sector? And it should not always be about we've not been paid, we've not been given this. Where are the ethics? I mean, this is something that, if we want to be honest, you have seen it happen many times. There is maybe little or no ethics at all. In fact, anywhere you see ethics, there are two things that run it. The staff are well paid, so the management can speak to them and say, why are you must follow this, you must do, so they follow. The second is that you only find it with certain staff who have developed ethics and standards and value, who have built themselves over time. They are the ones that show standards and ethics. And even when they do that, even within the health, I'm talking from experience now, within the healthcare sector, their colleagues will still bastardize them, throw stones at them. And now only you want holy pass. Now you only you want should say you sabi. That's always the conversation. Then if you look at the Anthony Joshua car accident story, you would also see another systemic failure and the need for systemic reforms to address the culture of reckless driving on one part and poor road safety in Nigeria, and how exactly the authorities will be held responsible for enforcing traffic regulations and ensuring public safety. A very good morning to you, Sir Benedict. Are you there? Hello, good morning, Sir Benedict.
Good morning.
Oh, great. Great to have you this morning. Sir Benedict, welcome aboard. Now, we're looking at standards and ethics, and we're looking at three very, very serious issues that have happened to our country in recent times. Number one, of course, will be the place of the budget, the MTEF delays and 2026 budget proposal, the flip-flops in standards and ethics. Secondly, of course, is the Chimamanda Son's story. It was a tragic loss right there. In fact, is a story that has brought some concern to Nigerians as well as the international community, where a little boy of 21 months old taken to hospital, at least in good health, even if there may be underlying issues, with the boy, but then because of negligence, because of other things, not following standards, not following ethics, not following procedures, an overdose and all of that, all of which still are allegations, that little 21-year-old boy lost his life. And then, of course, the Anthony Joshua incident. I mean, it's not new. Nigerians already were all over that one. How can we ensure that the roadworthiness, that the road safety corps, that government organizations that are involved and tasked with a responsibility to ensure that our roads are kept clean and safe, and that the standards that are expected of these in that sector are indeed put in place? It still boils down to standards and ethics. What are your thoughts when you weave all of these stories together?
Well, in an environment where so many people see rules and regulations as things that are done for formality's sake, then you expect to see a lot more going wrong. People break speed limit at will. Traffic lights are never obeyed by many. So when those things are in place, you know that it's a recipe for disaster. Now, I used to remember the former Road Safety Corps Marshal wrote an article in the early 90s, and in that part, he said something about a lot of vehicles on our road are accidents waiting to happen. And if you check the road till now, you're going to see trucks running with maybe 2 or 3 tires already gone. All those long trucks, and yet it's making noise and it continues on the road, apparently contributing to the damage on the road. If you look at our employment processes, the people who do we at some point employ the most qualified, or we employ the most connected? What is our admission process? Don't we have people who qualified for admission and yet they are shoved aside to take less qualified people? Now you look at the case of the Anthony Joshua driver. That is a high profile company. So you would expect that the drivers will be held accountable for all standards, including psychological check-ups, including ensuring that their driver's license are up to date, including the fact that they do refresher training, including that you would have given them some form of other training that adds to their job. It could be all manners of soft skills and the rest. But when you see some of these people who work for some of these outside companies, you will realize that because they even see the job as a reason not to get the right certification because they work for big firms. You see people at roadblocks. Police will ask them for papers, but they are coming up with what? With identity cards. So a lot of people do not see following process as responsibilities. Rather, they want to shove aside those processes and procedures and standards based on the fact that they have privileged positions. So as long as you promote privileged positions above responsibility of office, then you expect that a lot of jobs will not be properly done. It is not strange to see police vehicles where the bumper is already suppressed, where the headlamp or the appropriate lighting systems are not in place. And I'm not sure that BIO or road safety will stop a police vehicle on the way to ask those questions. It is not strange to see government officials and highly placed people drive one way. And because they do, people are taking a cue from them. In many of the roads you have today, both in Abuja city center and on the outskirts, you see people driving one way. And you ask yourself the question, is it that these people don't know that they are driving against the traffic? Even when you try to talk to some of them, they will tell you, I will come down and beat you and nothing will happen. Now, when people get to that measure of impunity, it is a recipe for disaster. And when eventually it happens and the people involved are highly placed, you see that. There are jobs that should be done by teams, but individuals will allocate it, and then the purpose you should have a team is to ensure that certain details, it could lead to a process failure and affair. Yes, we've not seen the details of what all this and that are, but we know that the fact that we in several, not just public, even in private, we see people do things wrongly. And we see people who perhaps wrongly. And we see people who perhaps, some people will say there is nobody that is untrainable.
Okay. Oh, we just lost that call. We lost the connection there. Well, anyways, we'll get back with him. But yeah, let's just go quickly, pay some bills, go on a timeout. Nigeria, is this something that is man-made? Is this something that we can indeed help? Is this something that we can come out of? Do you think that ethics and station at the moment?
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
There's so much more to enjoy when you fly in Emirates Economy. More legroom, delicious regionally inspired meals, complimentary free-flowing drinks, trip, and start the holiday early in Emirates Economy. Fly Emirates, fly better. Fly better.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Yeah, Join media collation and awareness to hold trafficking, MICAS, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAS and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Please listen to this infomercial.
Girl, your skin is glowing. What's your secret?
It's no secret, it's Gentle Touch Spa and Salon in Abuja. They gave me the best relaxing massage last weekend. I felt brand new.
Really? I've been needing that kind of pampering. Do they only do spa stuff?
Not at all. They do facials, body scrubs, waxing, and even natural hair treatments. I even got my braids done there, neat and classy. They also handle dreadlocks, wig revamping, hair coloring, guillotine, manicure, pedicure, gel nails. Everything beauty in one place.
Wow, so it's like a full spa and salon in one?
Exactly. The vibe is luxurious. The staff are professional and both men and women. Once you experience, do that. And for you, time, another number to reach out is 090-2410-6881. You can also visit them at number 2 Bolton Street, Sun City Estate, here in Abuja. Girl, go book that session. You will thank me later because everyone deserves the gentle touch.
Gentle Touch Spa and Salon. Luxury for everybody.
Power Homes and Shelters Limited, a real estate company. We be Baba for properties. Our properties national best.
Please listen to this important infomercial. It's Powell's time on radio. Abuja, Powell Homes and Shelters Limited has come with a vision of transforming housing through innovation, style and integrity. At Powell Homes and Shelters Limited, we deliver affordable luxury, comfort and reliability in real estate. We offer genuine lands, elegant homes, modern designs and flexible payment plans to make your dream home a reality. Visit us today and experience excellence you can trust. Our address is number 52, Suez Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. You can call us on telephone number 081-510-20000 or 080-925-70000. The number to call us once again is 081-510-20000 or 080-926-70000. Now let's hear what your sister and veteran Nollywood actress Patience Ozoko Mama G has to say about this company.
My people, my name is Patience Ozoko, popularly known as Mama G. G for General. Do you want to buy genuine lands and other properties and need a brand you can trust? Think Powell Home and Shelters Limited. With a reputation built on honesty and reliability, we ensure your investment is secured. Our team of experts is dedicated to providing personalized service tailored to your needs. Join countless of satisfied customers who have found their dream properties with us. For inquiries, please call 0815 102 0000 or 0809 257 0000. We can get you property from any part of Nigeria. Think real estate, think Powell.
Thank you, Mama G, for that wonderful talk. Remember, our office is at number 52, Suez Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. We also have branches in Enugu, Owerri, Oka, and Asaba, and Nairobi. Real Estate, think Powell.
Power Homes and Shelters Limited, a real estate company. We be Baba for properties. Our properties national best. Invest your money, create a better future. A real estate company. We be Baba for properties. Real estate. Our properties national best. Power Homes and Shelters Limited, a real estate company. We be Baba for property. Our priority is to satisfy our client to the best.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. It is the time in right here and on here. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, still looking at standards and ethics in Nigeria as a precursor to a better Nigeria. I mean, yes, we know insecurity is ravaging here and there. Yes, the system is porous. The system needs rehabilitation, revitalization, re-engineering, reworking, and all of that. But when we talk system, what exactly are we talking about? Aren't we just trying to talk about standards and ethics? Could that be the answer? Well, the conversation is still here, and 3 points of calls that we made. The first was about the federal government MTF, that's right, the delays that went through with it, and how we are still snowballing up until now. We are hearing divergent voices, even within the Senate saying, oh no, federal government, you have to be clear on our revenue, what's going, a lot of things going on there. And then, of course, we still have the Chimamanda Adichie's son, Kanu, who indeed passed on. I mean, 21 months old baby just left like that. And Chimamanda believes that, look, if there was proper procedural following, that there will not be, that incident would have been curtailed. In fact, from what I also saw, the hospital management is also saying, oh, the child who was sick, but that's why we take ourselves to the hospital. Isn't that why we take ourselves there? I mean, I've seen stories and I've heard stories of people who take themselves, they're sick, they're not feeling well, they know that something's wrong with them, so they drive themselves, most of the time they drive or they take themselves to the hospitals, and they don't come out of the hospital. So just before we go spiritual on it, let's talk physical. Have we been able to put measures up to ensuring that we don't lose these lives? I mean, the numbers are out there for you. I just want to hear from you. Let's have the conversation. 0907-353-0044. That's the number to stick to. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Chimeze calling from Asokoro.
Chimeze, welcome aboard. Let's have your take.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's start from the medical aspect.
Exactly.
You don't fit into a plate you eat from. But at times, it's beside the plate for people to observe how dirty the plate is.
Okay.
Look at that, For an anesthesiologist, what they have to undergo, sincerely speaking, they are pure medically qualified personnel that are patients with their patients. If you have a patient to attend to, you are equally a patient. No matter how qualified they may seem to be on name, their name, they have least qualified personnel. They hire, they rent, they lease. Permit me the use of language. You understand me? How can you go and hire to perform without attendance, without being present? You pace up and down only for you to come when severe organ damage has taken place. They have a lot to defend. Speaking, the same thing applied to a former global superstar, Michael Jackson. They performed, he was gone, and today we know what happened to the man that applied it. Okay, we are not being real here. Then coming to that of road safety.
Yeah.
It's the most common a trailer, a high-laden vehicle should be driving at night with one headlight at the same time. If you're coming, you don't know whether it's a tricycle or a motorcycle.
Right.
That says you if you are not within reach. And tomorrow they tell you another story. The guy that drove Anthony Joshua, according to information, is not licensed. Or if his license has expired. They don't want this matter to be swept under the carpet.
Right.
What they could do was to tell us that somebody visited from the United Kingdom and saw that the road was almost the same with the UK. Does that apply to loss of lives? Does that apply to the global embarrassment we are going through? Then for the budget, it's unfortunate. It's my word, it's my language. You have a bunch of rogues recycling themselves. You are delaying the budget because they have not actually padded where they are supposed to. You have somebody making an arrangement for procurement of 1.9 billion for 19 billion naira to change an engine, aircraft engine, even if you are buying Boeing 777. Somebody is telling us is going to use 47 billion naira for third mainland. Now, another cesspit of corruption will come. After this phase, now we go to Ajokuta. From Ajokuta, we go to power. It's all, I mean, the situation is terrible.
So Chimeja, let me ask you just one question, though. Do you think that standards and ethics is a problem? And if it is the problem, if we took it seriously, if there is accountability and transparency, would we have solved the problems of Nigeria?
Yes, the accountability and transparency should come with severe punishment.
Okay.
Speaking, some of these people, if it's a country that works, think that like Chinese, if we are above 1 million naira, die by execution or hanging. Listen, we need an iron fist in this country. We are still joking here.
So you're saying democracy is not it?
Fine. We strict members of the National Assembly can push for the enactment of this law. It is not impossible.
Okay.
Start from their head, expunge them, clear them of the term of authority.
Okay.
And this country will work.
All right, Jimmy, thank you.
Wait 1 minute to see a vehicle, like your resource person said. A Latin vehicle, 24 tires is going with 23 or 24. The others are worn out. No horn, is smoking on the road, no trafficators. It can't continue. A hospital will tell you we did our best. Now they want to go and hire the social media to defend them. These are fields we know. No anesthesiologist is supposed to leave a patient. It is not done anywhere. Forget the names they come. Okay, let me shock you. A high-profile former government official had a knee surgery in Nigeria, somewhere in Lagos. Do you know after that surgery, that man has to fly abroad for a corrective surgery?
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chimezie. Well, the phone lines are still open. I mean, so much is going on, and here is what we talk about every time when we say we want to hear from you loudly and clearly. Because look, well, let's just take this call. But before then, let's acknowledge our guest, his presence. Good, Sir Benedict, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Okay, I'll get back with you. Let's just quickly take this call now. Hello, good morning.
Hello, UT.
Good morning to you, please.
Good morning, UT.
Yes, please.
Welcome
aboard, Terry.
Yes, I want to sympathize with the woman that lost her child and Anthony Joshua, who lost his friends. But you see one thing, the driver who drove Anthony Joshua, from reliable sources and from his confession, this is not the first time he drove Anthony Joshua. He drove him for about 3 years now. And when you talk about his driver's license, whether you know it has expired, driver's license don't drive vehicles. But one thing he's talking about is that the brake of the vehicle failed. So I am expecting those authorities to inspect that vehicle and see if the claim is genuine. Yes, because if a vehicle failed brake, then people who said accidents are inevitable, this is where they come in. And we'll talk about the hospitals. Someone made mention of someone who went on a surgery here and then he went for abroad. You see, we have seen people from here that went to abroad and they still died and they bring their corpses back.
Right.
We have seen a former first lady, Stella Obasanjo, who went abroad, when it was her birthday, and unfortunately we lost her and they brought her back. We have seen so many other persons who went to Turkey, who went to India, who went to UK, and they died and they brought them back. In fact, even our former president, Muhammadu Buhari, died in the UK hospital. So we have seen several of them. And there are people who also believe that death is inevitable. Thank you.
All right. Okay, Turk B right there telling us his thoughts on it. Well, let's get back with you, Sir Benedict. I mean, you've heard the family members, Sir B. What comes to your mind now?
Now, for the person who is saying the license expired and that's not a big issue, it is a big issue. Because if the license of the driver expires and you don't care, why would you care that the brake pad has run the mileage that is required and should be changed? Now, there's what you call technique for routine interim maintenance on machines and cars and other equipment. If you can afford to overlook, right? Something as important as the license that qualifies the driver to be behind the steering, then you can as well overlook every other maintenance factor that goes with the car. Now, we need to possibly see, is there a manual, a logbook that shows how that car, that particular car that the driver drove Anthony Junior Joshua and his friends in, how it has been serviced? When was the last service? When was the brake pad change? When was the oil change? When was the last major checks on the car done? Now, what we're saying is simple. We have sufficient competent people in the nation, but a lot of jobs are given to people who are less competent. And so for that reason, the delivery is done wrongly. So whether it is in our sports, in our aviation, in most of our sectors, if not that IATA, that's the international IATA, ICAO, and the rest of the international bodies are breathing down on us in aviation, I'm sure that what we do to our cars is what we have been doing to the planes in Nigeria. But the sectors, even some sectors that those regulations still cover in the airport, are still not well governed. You come in and somebody says you are late, but in your presence they are selling that seat to someone else and you are expected to pay a fine. You come in and they tell you are late, but you are going to be in the airport for 2 or 3 hours after paying the fine, and the plane will not be on ground to take you. You see, so a lot of things are taken for granted in the system. You come in and you will see in the airport, you hear 4 or 5 flights within an hour had been more like, is it postponed? They keep rescheduling the 5 flights. Why nothing happens to the people and nobody cares about where you are going or whether you ate before you rush down to the airport or not? And you won't even find a fan official or an NCA official, as the case may be, addressing the passengers or doing anything relating to that. So if we take care of our standards, ethics, and value people and processes the way they should be valued, I think that we are a great nation. Like we always say, human capacity is our greatest asset, and we have it in abundance at all levels. Any level of human knowledge requirement that you can think of, there are competent Nigerians that can do them.
All right,
but the problem is, do we always allow them to lead or to do the job? The answer is no.
All right, sir,
the man who is favored most time gets the task, get the assignment, and then it's not properly done.
Yeah, let's just put a peg to your thoughts. Take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, the man with the golden
Good morning, Triple D. Where are you calling from?
My name is Triple D. I'm calling right now somewhere around Idu.
Awesome, my brother. Talk to us.
I truly, someone called and he said driver license does not matter, and I really appreciate the response to this. The man with the golden voice, if your driver license you do not feel that expire, then how can you be conscious of other things that you need to check in the vehicles, whether they are right or wrong? Maybe I travel and I have the picture. You know, I don't just talk because I want to talk. I want to talk because I want Nigeria to get it right. And I don't have any country apart from Nigeria.
Right.
Maybe I travel, I was maltreated because I refused to join the wagon. And that was how I suffer. Instead of me to arrive at Abuja around 3 or 4 based on my schedule time, I was around 8 o'clock in the night.
Wow.
Now, maybe a vehicle loaded passenger and then carry full cow, live cow, big cows that you know. I have a picture. That is on top of it. What do they call it? This Sharon. And these people are driving, they are passing all the checking soldiers are seeing them, army are seeing them, what do we call it, road safety, they are seeing them. And I begin to flag this, I begin to wonder, what are these people doing? How can this country be great? Kai, I have a lot to tell you concerning this topic, but if you're not working towards a better Nigeria, that means you're working towards a failing country, but we will not allow it. We'll keep on talking because the right person is coming, and it would correct the system, and we'll be happy for Nigeria because we are blessed. We are blessed beyond human capacity, human thinking,
I agree.
Nigeria will get it right. Have a nice day.
We sure will. Thank you, Triple D, for that one. All right, we will get it right, Triple D says, and I'm not in doubt of that. But then, if we must get it right, it will also go beyond just talking about it. It will be about doing. It is in the doing that we get it right. And I'm charging each and every one of us. I mean, we already know what standards and ethic is, and it's not very far off from value. From integrity. I think it just boils down to the same one thing: value, integrity. So for somebody that says, "Oh, it's just about is the system," who runs the system? Who are the people that run it? If a person is one who has no value, how do you run even the system? How do you enforce standard? How do you enforce ethics? Right? But anyways, Sir B, I'd like you to, maybe in 1 minute, if you can, please, just put a cap to it. I know you've given some, some conclusions, to the matter. You've given some suggestion to the matter on what the way forward. But maybe in one line, what is the way forward? I mean, just for clarity purpose. Are you there? Sir B, are you there? All right, I think there is a flaw.
The way forward,
awesome.
The way forward, in my opinion, is going to be that for people who will be in regulatory position or maybe enforcement, enlightenment, and education on standard and ethics, should be people who are not there for the salary is done to ensure that the safety is driven, to ensure that things are done appropriately. In all honesty, I'm surprised that we could have somebody that eloquent to come on air and say license is not so important. No, sir. License is very, very important. Whether for the professional, everybody needs to have an update done on their license. And for certain jobs, or for most jobs, especially when it's high profile and you have high profile customer, people should be subjected to periodic psychometric tests to be sure whether they are still fit to handle those rules or not. The fact that they were fit last year or 2 or 3 years ago does not mean that they would always be fit psychologically, emotionally, competence-wise, and be balanced enough to retain the job. So it shouldn't be once you have been given the job, forever you can continue to be there. We should have continuous evaluation to ensure that the standards for which we employ the people have not dropped. And as much as possible, the best of standards should be put in place in our recruitment and appointment process to ensure that we are not putting round pegs in square hole.
Right. Appreciate that one from you, Sir Benedict, for adding your voice in this very, very critical discourse this morning, and we look forward to more conversation with you in the coming days. Right. That's what we call it a close. But thank you far too kind, and to each and every one of us. I mean, you want to have a playback on this, you can get onto the YouTube channel as well as the Facebook page wall. Give us a like, give us a following with the Facebook page wall, and make